Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson at a rather dank Clarence Park, where the Saints have strengthened their National League South playoff ambitions with a 2-1 win over Poole Town. Victory coming in the 4th minute of added time. City have trailed for much of the game. You've been in the game a long time, Ian. There'll be matches when you feel you should have won and it didn't go your way. Today, did you get one that shouldn't have gone your way?
Without a shadow of a doubt. I think we were second best from really the first whistle from when we kicked off. We gave the ball away cheaply there. And we never kept the ball or retained possession the whole game, David, really. And we've got away with murder today, to be fair. Dean's kept us in the game probably on the hour mark. He's made a fantastic save to stop Constable putting them 2-0 up. And that for me changed it a little bit. We made a couple of changes there. We went to 2 up front and just to really try and get us back into the game. And we got very, very fortunate with the first goal. Great finish from Reece, but their goal has killed them really. He's come flying out and nowhere near the ball. Good finish from Reece, and then, as I say, I felt we started to get into the game. Then the game got a bit stretched out. They were still chasing it, but I felt as we went into the last 15-20 minutes, we might get a second. And fortunately enough, we managed to get it in them, the 94th minute.
Well, in the first 7 minutes, I think Dean saved one with his legs. They had a header cleared off the line, and that pretty much set the tone up until we got our first goal. Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. As I said, we were second best the whole game. Full credit to them because. If you look at their last few weeks, obviously they got beat 4-0 by Bath, but their performances on the road, I think that's 23 points they've got on the road and 9 at home, so it tells you where their problems lie. But you don't go into a game with people like Constable, Brooks and Devlin and the people they've got there because they're good players. And if you allow them to play and you allow them to give them space and don't work them and close them down, you're going to cause yourself problems. And that's what we did today. We were second best all over the park. What I have to say is that the commitment from the players was fantastic to stay in the game because we could have quite easily thrown the towel in, and we managed to get a response, as I say, in that last sort of 20-25 minutes, which was good. And it was nice for the bench to come and help us today because Percy's got the winner and Mercer's come on and just livened us up a little bit. He's been out all week with a chest infection, as we said, and then Sean's come on. So people like Charlie Walker and Harvey, a bit unfortunate for them too because Harvey did great last week at Concord and again on Tuesday at Western. So, but it is a squad, and we've used the squad and utilised the squad today, which has been good. And as I say, we've managed to take something out of a game which we probably didn't deserve. 3
straight wins, 6 points clear of place outside the playoffs. Nice position to be in now.
It is, but as I say, I just we have won the last 3 games, but I think if you go back probably the last 6 games, we haven't really played with a real fluency like we was doing. I mean, if you take the Chippenham game, we got 2 goals in the 91st and 94th minute there. Then we suffered the reverses against Truro and Hungerford. And though we've won the last 3 games, we haven't played particularly well. But we did say it'd be nice to start winning some games, playing ugly and scraping over the line, rather than having to play, really fluent football and outstanding football, as we did against big teams like Dartford and East Thurrock. So it's nice to play poorly sometimes and pick up some points, which is what we've gone and done. But long way to go, as we said. 6 points could quite easily be 2 defeats next weekend and 2 wins for somebody who's just behind us, and they'll be level with us again. So we've got 7 games to go, 7 tough games. We've got to make sure we can win as many as them. And as I say, I've still not given up hope that we might be able to catch the top 2, though it's going to be tough. Even Hampton are in there as well. So we've got Hampton to play, we've got Havant to play. So we know they're going to be tough games. We've just got to try and take as many points as we can as we go into the last sort of 4.5 weeks of the season.
Percy got the winning goal. I think most people were starting to think of moving home at a time when things went our way. A free kick went in and defender headed it across the goal, and that really summed up Poole's afternoon. They were comfortable, but they gave it away.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously difficult. I mean you look at the position they're in, but they probably are in a forced position. As I said, it's only their home form that's probably let them down. So, but as I said, I can't worry about their predicament that they're in. That's their responsibility really to try and get themselves out of it. With what I've seen today, they'll probably get out of where they are because they've got enough in their side to go and win some games of football. But all I can do is concentrate on what we're trying to do. We've got a spare week this week, which is nice. We did look tired today. We looked leggy. It was a tough trips to Concord and Western on Tuesday night. We got back here just at 2 o'clock. Players looked a little bit tired today, so we've got to make sure that we train correctly. Rest them in the right times and make sure we get the injuries. I mean, Jamie's knee's just swollen up a little bit after the game today, so we've got to make sure he's fine. Tarek's leg's a little bit sore, so we've got to make sure he's fine. But apart from that, we just got to make sure we train correctly, train properly, and then we make sure we're sharp for next weekend because we've got 2 really tough games with Gloucester and Braintree.
Gloucester, of course, were on a terrific run. They went down today. That's away next Saturday at Eves from United's ground. Braintree down here, Bank Holiday Monday, as you say, 2 big games, 2 sides very much pushing for playoffs, maybe not so much Gloucester.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and I think you've seen, I watched Gloucester at Wealdstone a couple of weeks ago, and they were one of the best sides I've seen all season. They were very, very well organised, had a lot of energy, and they deserved to win that game. Since then, they've just gone from strength to strength. Obviously, they had a reversal today, which has probably just dented their last surge in terms of where they were hoping to finish. So, and then you go to Braintree, and Braintree have gone to Hampton today and had 2 sent off. I know they had 1 sent off really early, and they've got in front, and Hampton have come back and pegged them back and got a draw. So we know, when you're sitting 4th in the table, every team's going to come here and try and raise their game. And it was nice to get, I think it was 909, wasn't it, today? Great, and at the end it was great to give them something to shout about, because the performance wasn't good. As I say, the energy wasn't there, the sharpness wasn't there, and our passing, which I think we've been renowned for our passing, especially at home, we just didn't have it today, and everything was a little bit slow and deliberate, and we allowed them to defend in numbers, probably to the last sort of 20 minutes when we managed to start to turn them. But as I say, we've got away with murder today in terms of picking up the 3 points, but you have to take them, because a lot of times this year when we've played teams like Hungerford here, and we deserved all 3 points and got away with only a point.
I seem to remember towards the end of last season you said something along the lines of always looking to improve upon the previous season's achievements. Well, we're level now with last season's points tally with games in hand, so it has been a better season.
We've still got 7 games, David. We could lose all 7. It's as I said last year, we made a conscientious decision in February to make it. It was a big decision to lose 4 or 5 players, but I felt at that stage of the season we'd gone sour, and we wasn't getting the response from players that I needed. So we made a decision, and we brought Kieran in, Zane Banton come in, and Solomon came in, and they've been great for us, because they've been sort of 3 younger lads, and we decided to go a little bit younger, a little bit more enthusiasm and energy, which is what's happened. And for me, these boys are only going to get better. I mean, obviously we've got people like David Noble, who's 36 now, and Ben Hurd, who's 33, and we've brought Jamie in, who's still young, and Antonio's 26. So we're not an old side, but we've also got to be aware that we want to improve every single year. Now, if that's what we've done this year, that's great. 7 games to go. Hopefully, we'll improve on where we was last year. But first and foremost, we want to try and make the playoffs. If we can make the playoffs, and then we can look at where we are. We've still got some players that we need to speak to about next year, but I'm not sure when's the right time to talk to them players now, because we don't want to start upsetting the balance of what we're trying to do. It'll probably be one of them. We'll wait till the end of the season, see where it takes us, and then sit down with the players and decide what we're going to do. But it was important to get Solomon and Sam signed up quite early, because their performances up to that part deserve for them to get a new contract.
Another late show today. You just mentioned sort of energy and enthusiasm of the younger lads that you've brought in. Is that partly the reason behind it?
Well, I hope so. I mean, we've spoke, Neil, at length about the last 20 minutes of every game. We feel we're a very, very fit side here, and we feel that we've got a great energy and with legs and energy and an enthusiasm from the youngsters. And I think today you've seen, with the bench that we've managed to bring on. But again at Western on Tuesday night, and again Concord last week, we've scored 6 goals now in the last sort of 20 minutes of each game. So there is a good energy about us. There is a fitness level that's good, especially going into that last 20 minutes. And we've said to the boys again today, most games stay in there with 20 minutes to go, we'll get stronger and the games will open up for us. Unfortunately, we keep giving ourselves a mountain to climb by giving a goal away, and we did it today. Truro, he wasn't good enough to get back in the game, and today at times we wasn't good enough to get back in the game. But if you give teams like the teams in this league a head start, it's always going to be difficult to get something out of the game. And we've been very fortunate today. As I say, we've rode our luck. Dean's kept us in the game, and then we've had a couple of half chances which we managed to take, because we didn't really open them up at all today, and they looked much better than us. I felt they looked organised than us, they looked sharper than us, they got on the ball quicker than us and passed it better than us. But listen, full credit to the players in there, because they're stuck in there, and in the end they got a little bit of luck, and they got a little bit of a reward for working hard. And that's all of our players all seasons: work hard, And as I said on Tuesday night, I go back to probably Harrogate for the last sort of half an hour, and Bognor, where I felt we lost our way rather than not tried. There's not many times this year this little lot in there have not given us 100%.
One final note there, Ian. Reece got us back in the game, that equaliser. He got booked for a dive in the second half. Did you think it was a penalty?
I don't know if it was a penalty. I couldn't tell you where that was, but I didn't think it was a dive from where I was. I thought he got body checked. I'd have to look at it again, but from where I was, I questioned it with the linesman because it looked like as he's turned back in, the fella's just put himself in between him and Reece. But you could go through the whole of the season about do you think it's a penalty or a dive. Listen, I see some of the decisions where officials now book people, cause problems in terms of, you know, dishing yellow cards out, because Reece has only got to do a mistimed tackle after that and then he gets sent off, and they're all the little things that it leads to. You know, we go back last week in the first 5 minutes, I think Jamie got booked at Hungerford a couple of weeks ago. It's just some of the stuff that goes on. We have to accept it, get on with it, and take the referee's decision as long as it is given that way. But I didn't think it was a penalty. I didn't think it was a yellow card. I just felt it was a free kick and we get on with it.
Lovely, thanks so much, Ian. Congratulations on the latest win. Right, a reminder then, Saints next in action on Easter Saturday away to Gloucester City, and that match is at Evesham United's ground, National League South. Kick-off is at 3 p.m.